All right, you ready? Let me do that again. Oh, maybe a little too much there. Sorry. What, third time? I'm gonna get all my bell ringing in while I can. Only one more week left. Good afternoon, everybody. Whoa. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Rotary. I'm glad that you're all here. So we are dealing with a little bit of technical difficulty. So you might see the screen is turned around, and that's so the folks at home can see all of us. So, all right, here we go. So today we'll do our Pledge of Allegiance, our four-way test, and our patriotic song. We've got a virtue reading by Mark, and Carrie Ann is doing our invocation. We've got club announcements, fellowship, a dad joke, and David is our speaker. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and never riches? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? All right, and let's head on over to Mark. Oh, patriotic song.
Did you want solo?
Here we go. Because I'm just about done, and this is my favorite. We're doing Grand Old Flag again, so deal with it. Who wants to lead us off? Rod, would you like to lead us off?
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true in the red, white, and blue, where there's never a post or brag. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
And next week we're singing it again. All right. Mark, if you look with the virtue.
In honor of Kurt's love for that song, we're going to read the virtue love today. Love is at the center of our being. It is the vital force that gives us energy and direction. It connects one heart with another. Love is irresistible attraction and affection for a person, a place, an idea, and even for life itself, or a patriotic song. Love is cherishing others, treating them with tenderness. Love thrives on acceptance and appreciation. It has the power to heal. It calls us to continually hone ourselves while releasing the need to control or make someone in our image. Nurtured by commitment and seasoned by kindness, love is our greatest gift. Love is patient, love is kind. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. That's from the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13:7. The practice of love. I allow myself to connect deeply. I commit myself wholeheartedly. I show love through acts of kindness. I accept and appreciate the ones I love. I do the work on myself that love requires. I cherish the love of my life. I am thankful for the gift of love. It is my treasure.
Excellent, excellent choice. Thank you so much, Mark.
And I know you said Carrie Ann.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Summer.
You've done that quite a bit.
Well, you're both wearing green, and so, sorry.
That's it, it's the green. Okay, I'm gonna say a prayer, so please bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this time that we get to spend together, this fellowship that we get to have. Please bless this food to our bodies and bless and guide us as we go throughout our days. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you so much, Summer. Carrie Ann, if you'd like next week, you can have an opportunity to do a blessing or prayer. So thank you all. Okay, so moving on to club announcements. Dr. Hanson, you can see him in action right now, accepting payment and raffle tickets. And that's what he wants from you. If you have not yet turned in your raffle tickets or payment or combination thereof, he wants to see you. Do you want to add anything on to that, Murray?
If you don't have them with today. You can stop by me. You can stop by me. Stop by you? Well, you want my money? Oh, I'll be there. Trust me, I'll be there. Stop at Eric's office and drop them off, or if that doesn't work, you can drop them off at my office too.
Or at the bank.
Or at the bank with Brenda.
All right. There we go. Sorry, folks at home. Now you can see us. There we go. All right. Boy, what a hot mess of a meeting, huh? Okay. So Heritage Days Parade. Thank you so much for everyone that came out to the Heritage Days Parade. That was a lot of fun. And of course, thanks to Dr. Houston for driving his Kubota into tractor with his prairie buggy trailer. I know that's gotta take forever for a round trip to come in from the farm and head back out for that. So that is very much appreciated. It was a great time getting out there in the community, passing out candy. And I am delighted to share that by the time we got out of the parade, we had about 2 handfuls of candy left. So it was just the right amount, you know, everybody got candy and we weren't actually hoarding it where we had a ton left over. We had just the right amount. We didn't have any disappointed stares from kids that didn't get any candy, so. All right. Oh, and there's the parade team there. And then there's Officer Gleam, Chips on bicycle. Is Brandon here today by chance? No? Okay. Oh, that's right. He had emailed me and said he wasn't gonna be here, but. And then we've got Peter and Nicholas here. I don't know what the context is of this picture. If that was, I don't believe that was during the parade, but.
That's the city council.
The city council, awesome. Thank you very much. Did you get your choice of vehicle for that, or?
No, it wasn't really, it was a horrible vehicle.
All right, and then we've got Kathy and Martha performing at Central Park. That was a lot of fun. Murray, do you want to add anything to this? I think you would.
No, in the next picture, you can see some of the Rotarians who were there. Summer, Nate, Ellie, Austin, Ryan, if you guys want to comment.
Would you like to add anything?
Sure.
Okay.
If you haven't seen, excuse me, Kathy and Martha play, I highly recommend it. They're very entertaining to the crowd and very engaging, so we had a great time.
That's wonderful. All right, and someday Ken will be back and this slide will be relevant and we'll either boost them up or tease them about that. Okay, so now we're gonna move into fellowship and birthdays, anniversaries, yes.
There you go, sir. All right. Let's see. We get this. We have a guest?
We have a guest. I am excited to introduce everybody to my birth mom, Peggy. And so all of you heard the story about how Natalie's mom, Lydia, helped me find Peggy and how we connected last November. And since then, we've been able to continue to get to know each other. And I was so excited to introduce her to my Rotary family. So let's all say hi, Peggy.
Hi, Peggy.
Let's see, way over here. We have family introduction.
We have my sons joining us today. So Graydon, will you say hi? Hi. Gavin? You're not gonna stand up? You don't wanna talk? Oh, all right. Say hi to Graydon, yeah.
Hi, Gavin.
Was it when, after Greg was born, wasn't his appearance here better than a lot of the Rotarians in the first? Both of them. Okay. All All right, so as is customary, when we're winding down Rotary year, we're gonna take the opportunity to talk about the current president today.
Oh, boy.
We usually do some of this next week, but it gets a little tough because the new incoming president probably will suck up a lot of our time, so. So we're gonna talk about Kurt today, so if you'd like, we'll take the first 5 minutes to talk about the good things and then the rest as well.
Oh, boy.
So whatever you'd like to say about our current president, and also I drummed up a bunch of dad jokes, so we can kind of end this with a bang, okay, Kurt?
I hope you didn't use the dad joke that I planned for today.
If not, I got extras.
Thank you.
So we'll start with this table with the first dad joke. Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
If they have a hole.
There you go. In case they get a hole in one. All right. Brenda, would you like to say a few words about our current president?
I would, I'll throw in some money.
Throw it on there.
Okay. So Kurt, you've done a great job for all of us, leading us. Just a great president, and I was so honored to have you in front of us this year. So thank you for all you did.
Thank you, Kurt, for your job as president. He was a very positive person, and I actually like that dad jokes.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And I also put a couple dollars in for the Rotary camp. We got it cleaned up, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Pastor Mark Kenny and Kate Oakland were out there and myself, and we got it all done. So it looks great out there at this point.
And I should probably point out that Mr. Dave Bernick this week, 41 years in the club.
Yes.
Thank you, Craig. You've been a wonderful person.
It's been my pleasure.
Dr. Houston, might as well get this out of the way.
Thanks, Kurt. You tolerated this guy all year. That says something very positive about you. The other dollar is for, I'm going up to Benson tomorrow, my hometown, and we're gonna have a District 34 reunion. District 34 was the one room schoolhouse that I attended for 8 years without running water. And so we're gonna reminisce about some really good times. So looking forward to that.
Onto this table, your joke. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. Kurt, these are right up your alley.
So thank you, Kurt, for a great year, and I appreciate all your support with the Youth Exchange Program as well.
Thanks, Lisa.
Grant?
Well done. You know, it's a lot of work, and we appreciate the leadership through the year. And on to the next year, and I'm sure you will provide much sage advice to Laura. Thank you.
Thanks, Grant.
I see a future in Rotary here. All right, what do you call a factory that makes okay products? A satisfactory. This is Kurt.
Kurt, I just want to thank you for a great year. You're welcome to me. It's almost a year since I joined, and you kept smiling the whole time. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Emily.
Brad?
I'll make a plug for Venmo if this flows right, because that has, I never carry cash and it's amazing. So, to everybody that was talking about that and doing that, thank you. I had a thought about Kurt just the other day. We haven't had much of an opportunity to get to know each other, but I think I joined Rotary shortly after you were president, and the meetings have always been fun and not taking ourselves too seriously, but also just galvanizing a lot of incredible community work. But I thought about you specifically on Father's Day because my brother-in-law told me the first dad joke that I actually wrote down, and I was gonna email it to you, but I wasn't positive of the leadership rotation. I know Laura said that might not be a surviving tradition. So I'll email it to you offline, and if it makes the cut, you can share it in your last meeting.
Thank you, I'd be honored.
It's kind of tough. There really aren't as many mom jokes, and of course, you know, being a mom is no joke, right?
Thanks for being I can't say great president, because all presidents are great, but thanks for getting us through this year. It was a lot of fun. And I put in some dollars. I won't be here next week. Is next week, Laura? Or is it you? Sorry, I'm going to be in Curaçao, which is a Dutch island in the southern Caribbean. And my daughter and her family are coming over, and she WhatsApped me the other day, said, "What shall I bring from Holland?" I said, "Why? It is Holland. It's got Dutch stores, Dutch food, Dutch candy." So I'm maybe putting on a few more pounds.
Do they have Zoom?
Yeah, not at the beach.
Kurt, I've not been in the group long enough, but it's always been great to chat with you the couple times we have, so thanks for that. And I put a couple other dollars in there to apologize for what's coming later.
All right, maybe the incoming president would like to say a few words, or you want to save it for next week? Save it?
Well, I'm gonna say something next about sure, I paid money to talk about service.
Oh, so next week.
What are you doing?
No, I'm. You want to say a few words now?
Well, just, Kurt, this is unexpected, this is off the cuff, I would think about like all the nice things that I wanna say about Kurt, and I start to cry, so I'm sorry ahead of time, because I cry when I'm expressing my emotions. So, you've done a great job, you are a fabulous leader, I've learned so much from you, and I appreciate so far all the guidance that you've given me, and our club is so fortunate to have had you leading us this last year, and we will continue to be fortunate because I know you're hanging around and you show all of our new members the ropes, and so it's gonna be great. So thank you. No tears. Look, you didn't cry.
Pretty good off the cuff. See, I had to go back just for a second to Brad here. Your screen protector looks like packing tape. So we might just do a little, yeah, we might have to do a donation for that.
So, Venmo. But I just wanted to say we had a fantastic time at the parade. My kiddos could not stop talking about it. And for anybody that was there, they were the ones that you couldn't even see because they were running up and down the entire time. So, and they had a fantastic time. So thank you to you guys for driving and being a part of that because it was a great event. But Kurt, thank you. Thank you for showing that leadership means kindness, inclusion, generosity. Your generosity of spirit is incredible. And I think it has affected all of us here. And so thank you for using your gifts to encourage and allow other people to shine.
Thank you. So does Kurt earn a kind of a pass on the next traffic violation maybe?
My chips part.
Yes.
$2 for you, Kurt. Echo everyone else's words. Great job. You're exceptional. Such a great person. So thanks for being welcoming to me, like all of you. And then another $1. Good luck to Laura. You'll do great. I know she'll do well. She'll do great.
Thank you. All right. What has more letters and the alphabet. Kurt?
Post office?
Thank you. All right, Mark, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, Kurt, I want to thank you for being a tremendous leader you were this last year. And Laura, for next year's promise. So thank you all.
David?
All right, Kurt, ever since I came to town here and we were in the same pair of futures class, also with Brenda, easily the best class. It's been nice to know you. You're such a welcoming soul to this community, Owatonna, Northfield, just the whole surrounding area and stuff. I really appreciate your dedication for service and the way you engage your daughter too. And those who, my daughter and Harper really got to connect, and they get so excited when we're doing these projects with all the other 4-way testers, we named them. So thank you for being that great role model and stuff. And honestly, it'd be hard not to remiss this. I think you're the most Minnesotan person I know. And that's a good thing. Thank you.
Okay, like I had commented at the beginning of your presidential year, this joke thing for me had a history. And I'm now gonna introduce past president Dick Cook, the original joke master.
Wish I had something prepared. Kurt, well done. I know how you're feeling about now, but only being here for half of the year, it was very impressive how you led the club, and appreciate help being all in. And Laura, best wishes to you. And if you have any help, let me know. I have an announcement if I can do that. Okay, a while back we did a club project of little libraries, and there's quite a few of those out in the community right now. And I have one that I want to repurpose. And I have the post that got vandalized, unfortunately, so I repaired it, repainted it, and she's all ready to go. I will deliver and install but you take ownership of it at that time. So I'm already housing 2 of them. So anybody see me after the meeting or let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. You know, you're never really that quiet, Bob.
Well, you can expect great things. I know you've been just animated about some more information on climate change, and it is coming. So be prepared.
All right. So, Rod, just 50 years ago this week, you were handing over the end of your term as president. 50 years. So I'd like to get a picture of you and Kurt together up by the Rotary flag.
Very good.
You come up and do that?
Sure. Definitely.
This picture I do get to be in.
Yes.
Not too often we get to do something like this. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
My comments. I'm 50, but I've had the chance to be under about 65 different presidents in this club. And believe me, you rate right up there at the top with them. Because it's a fantastic job you've done.
Thank you. You bet. Thank you very much.
Kurt, you are a blessing, your joy, and just exuberance for life is contagious, and I just love just being in your company is just wonderful. And remember when you became the outstanding alumni for South Central College?
Yes, I do.
And you were gonna be on our board, and you said, I'm gonna be a president at Rotary, but afterwards. So I must say, you may be called upon, and Peggy, so good to have you here, and as you can tell, he is much loved.
It's kind of the perfect time to come visit us. Oh, back table. Right. How do you make 7 even?
Take away the S.
Thank you, Kurt.
I just want to say, I want to thank you, Kurt, for your mentorship and for your leadership and also for your encouragement. You always have the smile on your face and a kind word. Appreciate that.
I don't have any money on me. I'm gonna have to figure out this Venmo thing. But I just wanted to say thank you, Kurt. You're my first president, so that's pretty cool. I've had a really, really great year this almost a year being in Rotary, and I feel like you were a huge part of that. So I just want to say thank you, and you've done a wonderful job.
All right, we're moving on to the next table. What does a bee use to brush its hair?
It's a honeycomb.
There you go. All right.
I'll throw in $1 for Kurt. You were also our first president, and when I think about you as the president, I don't think you have a mean bone in your body, first of all. But second of all, you've done a wonderful job of creating such a warm atmosphere, a welcoming atmosphere, and never taking yourself so seriously that as a new person coming in makes for a really comfortable room. So well done.
Thank you.
So Summer said all the nice things. We got you something. For a couple weeks ago, you mentioned this.
Oh, this is awesome. Macho Man Randy Savage trading card. Yeah.
And I did some research for Bob and for George concerning renewable energy. So it turns out they did a research of the windmills, they did some background research of windmills in proximity to radio towers. And they found out they actually work really well in proximity to radio towers because they're heavy metal fans.
Excellent. Excellent. Good. There could be a future in that.
That's a hard act to follow. Kurt, we just want to thank you for the outstanding job you've done welcoming us to the club. And every time we talk to you, you just have such a positive attitude, and it's very contagious. So just thank you and keep it up.
Keith?
Kurt, what is blue and not very heavy?
Well, I think you've got me stumped on that one.
Light blue.
Excellent.
Great year, Kurt. Appreciate you and echo everything that everybody else said.
Sometimes it's just too easy.
Just gonna put in $2, but in honor of my daughter's wedding, the two become one. Venmo, that under Kurt's leadership, we now have Venmo, and I tell you what, we're gonna make a lot of money in Venmo because nobody has an excuse of I didn't bring any money. Always got Venmo. There you go.
Leave your phone in your car.
I forgot my phone. That's not. Heard all these nice words about Kurt. I just want to say thanks to Natalie because we all know that behind every good man
So we know that you work behind the scenes as well, but you guys have done an amazing job. Kurt, you've done a great job leading this year, and it's been just a blast. All the great things that have happened this year, it all starts with leadership. So thanks so much.
I'm gonna go off of my husband's $5 if you put it. Kurt, I just wanted to say thank you. I know we're very new to the group, but when I've run into you, you know my name, you smile, and I think your joy really sets the tone for this group. And yeah, I've just been in the small amount of time that I've known you. You actually are that nice, and I think I'm glad that we get to know you.
Thank you.
To continue to know you.
Yes.
Well, Kurt was my Rotary sponsor. So, you know, I guess our love affair started with Rotary. No, I mean, you're the love of my life.
Yeah.
So you've been a great president and it's been a great year. We got engaged. It's just awesome to hear all the kind things said about my future husband and that Peggy's here to hear it. And you all know that I'm a crier. And yes, behind every good man is is a pretty good woman. And I will say that I did take several for the team because he would run a few of the dad jokes by me first. Like, no. You know, yeah. No, thanks for a great year, honey. Love you.
I don't think I gave you a joke, did I?
No.
We got money falling out of the can here, George. Hold on, here, I'll give you a joke first. Well, I got several left. How much does it cost Santa to park his sleigh? How much does it cost Santa to park his sleigh?
Nothing. It's on the house.
There you have it. George?
Okay. Here's that. We missed announcements today. I was gonna say something in announcements. What I want to say is totally inappropriate at this time. So next week, you gotta promise me that we have announcements, okay? Because this is what I'm gonna be talking about is not a good thing for this right now. Okay, as far as your conduct is concerned, this year has been excellent. I enjoyed the friendly, open, you have more fun meetings than any president we've had before. And even your mistakes are fun. So thank you for a great year. And we wish you a happy retirement of your pension from the Federal Road.
Kurt, if you ever run short on dad jokes in Walker, there's a bookstore that has 101 dad jokes.
Okay.
You probably know all the answers.
Thank you.
I have one more thing to add. I thought maybe Laura or Chris would talk about it, but Chris gave a presentation to the district on our grant the other day, and with Laura's leadership, those two hit a home run. We asked the district for $5,250. The district awarded us $5,200. So kudos to those two for the great work they've done.
So next week, we'll do a little bit more of this for those who weren't here today, but I thought it would take a little time to review what a great year you've had. You know, I have to say, I've gotten a chance to know you a little bit better too, and before your year started, I got to, he let me drive the ambulance. So I went down to his house in Owatonna and got to see the whole train set up, and then we took a ride in the ambulance, but he let me drive it all the way out to Dave's and had lunch, and it was, you know, it was a great time. Kurt has been great for this club. He's gonna be great in the years to come. And I feel like in our second 100 years, we are really hitting the ground running, and this is great. Kurt?
Thank you. Gosh, I so appreciate all of those kind comments that all of you had shared. And Natalie is essentially my co-president, you know, and helping me prepare for the year and helping me strategize and everything. So I appreciate you, honey. Thank you very much. And I appreciate every single one of you and those that aren't here with us today, because it's because of all of you that our club is so special. And when Brenda sponsored me years ago to become a member, I immediately recognized that there was something special about our club, right? It didn't fit that traditional mold that you think about when you think about Rotary. And that hooked me. And since I've joined, people have come and gone, but the club has always stayed very special. And it's the culture that we all bring and provide. And the reason that we've had such an amazing year is because of all the things that all of you have done. It's not my leadership, it's because of all of you. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you. So now let's switch to a lighter mood and just a few more dad joke observations. A couple of my favorite dad jokes of the year were one where I found a picture of Mahler Hardware. And the joke was, they're free battery, or they're giving away free batteries at Mahler Hardware. They're no charge. And then the other was the other weekend when Pastor Greg was talking about going to see the James Taylor concert. And then Troy Dunn was here, who used to be in a cover band, and I used the joke. I said, "Oh, Greg, you maybe didn't know this, but former Sheriff Troy Dunn used to be in a cover band with other law enforcement officers. And when they would do James Taylor cover shows, they operated under the name Tame Jailer." And I came up with that on the spot. I was like, this is comedy gold. So pretty proud of myself for that one. I'm not much of a bragger, but all right. So here's today's dad joke. So this might have been the first dad joke I ever heard. A mushroom walks into a bar and the bartender says, "We don't serve mushrooms here." And the mushroom says, "Why not? I'm a fun guy." And I think I heard that when I was about a third grader. I just about wet my pants. I laughed so hard. So there we go. All right, so I'd like to invite David up to the stage for his presentation, and I'll get your PowerPoint switched over for you. All right, let's welcome David. There you go.
Man, I was hoping to run out of time.
I'm just going to share the screen so the folks at home can see. There we go. All right. And let's see here. Slideshow. There you go. You are all set.
All right. So I'm Dave Nichols. Despite what you're gonna see in here, I really did take this seriously, but this is just my kind of sense of humor. So Kurt, hopefully you find a few of my jokes hilarious and everybody else groans. I measure dad jokes not in laughs, but in how loud and deep the groan is. That's how that works. So.
Here, I can help. I think you might just need to click on there.
So who am I? That's a great question. I'm Dave Nichols. I am the executive director of the Rice County Historical Society. I was born in Warren, Michigan, which is just outside of Detroit. But in Michigan, the idea of just outside means there are no city limits. Everything kind of blends together. I didn't see a cornfield until I was 11. So that should tell you a lot compared to living here in Minnesota. I was born with a rare medical condition called TEF. It's tracheoesophageal fistula. I was basically born without an esophagus. So I can say that I had surgery at an hour old. Wow. So I am an eternal optimist, not an optometrist. Sorry, Murray. There you go. There you go. Probably because of all of that, I believe that there is always some hope, no matter what you're doing. I think this club is a great example of that. I'd like to think that we're all hope makers in the world. And I am a nerd. If you've ever walked into my office, you'll see Star Trek stuff all over the place because sure, why not? So why am I here? Mostly because you invited me. And also because Minnesota is the place for history. As far as, you know, the country goes, Minnesota is a hotbed for local history. It basically goes Washington, DC, and then Minnesota. People come from all over the country to learn here. The way that we have local history museums and the establishments that we have here are modeled across the country. So if you want to go into museums, this is the place to be. I came here because MSU had a fantastic history program, and my dad lived about a half a mile away, so rent was free, which is my favorite kind of college. I'm part of the first graduating class from the Museum Studies program at MSU that started in 2014 when I was starting my master's program. While I was there, I met my wife, and she decided that Michigan's not that great, you should just stay here. Like that, Mark? I didn't say I agreed with her. Which brings me to why I am still sane with all of the crazy things I do. Those of you that see me at work know that I probably should just have a cot that I pull out and sleep on instead of driving home. My first reason is my wife, Tiffany. She is amazing. She's my rock. Without her, I am pretty sure that I would just be bald from pulling my hair out. And part of that is because of the second reason, my daughter Addison, who is a little ball of sass and has all the attitude in the world. I have no idea where she got it from. Might have been me. It's fine. And then of course, my true great love, which is coffee, because without coffee, I can't do anything. So what am I doing with my life? So I got into history at a very young age. I was raised by my grandparents for the most part. And my grandfather is a Korean War vet, and he got me into history at a very young age. We'd watch old war movies together, old Westerns together, and he had a habit of stopping the movie and then explaining to me every little thing about what's happening. And little 4-year-old me just went, just play the movie. So he really encouraged me when I was getting into college, wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. He goes, you know, if you like history, go do history. You know? Sure, okay. And here I am. I started working in history in 2016 after I graduated, thanks to the Legacy Amendment. It's sort of the main way that museums get to do a lot of the work that we do. We're nonprofits, we don't have a lot of money, but thanks to all of our tax dollars, we're able to do some really fantastic work. So when that comes up for renewal, be sure you support it. My first permanent job was at Scott County in 2018 as the curator there, and then I came here to Rice County in 2019. I started as the actual curator with RCHS in March of 2020, and then this February I said yes to being the executive director of the museum, and there are days I wonder why. One of the things that drew me to Rotary, one of the things that I really appreciate is that, you know, our 4-way test really applies to everything that we do in history. First rule is what we're saying true, is what we're saying fair in how we're presenting it. Is the history we're telling, the stories we're telling, going to build a better community? And beyond that, does it benefit everybody that reads it? Is everybody walking away better than they were before they walked in? To me, history is one of those things that it's not just where we've been, but it's where we're going. If you don't pay attention to your history, it's hard for you to know how to do better. And to me, that's the most important thing. So I would be remiss if I didn't do my job and advocate why you should be supporting history. Because of everything I just said, if you want to support, become a volunteer. If you're out and about, advocate for truth in history and telling stories as they are, painful though they may be. become a member of the Historical Society or any museum, every museum. I don't know how much money you've got, but every museum could use it. And just volunteer. You know, the most valuable thing we have in this world is time, and using it to help others is the best thing we could do. Service above self, right? One of the last things I want to talk about real quick is one of my favorite quotes. It very much fits Rotary and it fits everything I believe in, which is from Mr. Rogers. When something terrible or a catastrophe happens, always remember to look for helpers, because there will always be helpers. And that's all I got. So. Yeah.
So we talked a little bit earlier, so summer's your busy season. So when you're not in your busy season, what else do you do with your time?
At the museum or when I'm not at the museum?
Yes, when you're not at the museum.
God, am I ever not at the museum when I'm not sleeping? No, a lot of my time I spend reading, big surprise. I spend a lot of it trying to play with my kiddo as much as I can. So for those of you that don't know, I live in New Ulm and I drive here every day. So any chance I get to play with her and spend time with family, I do. So, yeah, George.
You mentioned you like history. Is there any area of history that interests you the most?
Actually, so the era that I went to school for is early 19th century US, specifically the 1830s. The topic that the 1830s.
1930s?
1830s.
Okay.
There was a sort of crisis that happened in the 1830s that sort of set up the Civil War. It's called the Nullification Crisis. If you're ever interested, look that up. It's a fascinating topic. So that was my focus when I was in school. Yeah, I did.
How large is your board and what area do they come from?
So our board at RCHS is 19 at the moment. We're going to be adding another one. We have folks from all over the county, mostly here in Faribault. It's the downside that every museum faces, which is most of everything that you have, people, stuff comes from the town in which you're in. But I'm actually really happy to say that we're going to have a new person from Northfields HBC joining our board this year. I was able to organize that. We've got some folks from Northern Rice County, Southern Rice County. So we do our best to try and cover all the different areas. David.
All right, so now that you know you drive from Mullen every day, what are you doing in your car? Are you listening to podcasts, music? Give us some suggestions for.
I'm a very big audiobook person. I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of music. I'm a YouTube person, so I will often create a playlist in the morning before I leave, and then just hit play and go. Not of anything in particular, just as I'm sitting down chilling at the end of the night, I'll go, man, I want to watch that, but that looks really good. I'll listen to that in the morning. So I have no idea what half of the things I listen to look like. I just
You're not watching them when you're driving, right?
No. I'm just listening, I swear. You don't need to worry about my license plate, it's fine. Brad.
Favorite Star Trek captain and why is it Cisco?
So, all right. You're right. Cisco was my favorite until Pike showed up. And now I'm having a bit of an internal debate of Mount Pike or Cisco. So there's 3 Pikes. Answer Mount. Yeah.
How do you determine when people bring items in to you that they want stored there or they're displayed there? How do you determine, yes, it should, or no, it shouldn't?
Man, you should have listened to me on Gordy's program this morning. I answered this question. So our golden rule is it has to be tied to Rice County in some way, shape, or form. Beyond that, it comes down to condition, whether or not it has a good story attached to it, or any story attached to it, and then whether or not we already have an example of that or a copy of that. Unfortunately, despite how big our building looks, it really doesn't have a whole lot of room in it. So we typically try to only have 2 or 3 copies of something. So usually it's a matter of condition and how good the story is to tell. If it's just, I have this thing, I can't remember where I got it, it's really hard for us to do much with it. Great.
Are you gonna be expanding into that vacant space to the north?
God, I hope so. The county commissioners have been nice enough to tell us that we can. They haven't told us how we can. They just said that, sure, yeah, go ahead. We'll talk to you about that. So we're gonna start using it and hopefully get squatters' rights, if nothing else. And then hopefully we'll be able to do a campaign to really do a big addition. Some of our board have very big dreams, bigger than that space allows. Others of us are trying to be a little bit more realistic. So don't worry, I'll let you know.
Have you talked to Dr. Houston about fundraising?
Not yet, but I got your number.
What do you do if you have a item that you no longer want, that still has some value of somebody?
So our golden rule, if it's already in the collection, we go through a process called deaccessioning. That removes it from the collection. And then depending on what it is, depends on how we deal with it. Sometimes we call up the donor and say, we've had to remove this from the collection for whatever the reasoning is. Would you like it back? If they say no, or that's not an option, we try to pass it on to another museum or another organization in the county. Just because we can't use it doesn't mean somebody else can. You know, we do everything we can to not dispose of something. If something is deaccessioned because it's in such terrible condition that there's no other option, we do. But we're really good about not letting things get there. Usually it's a case of something else will come in that's in slightly better condition or has a deeper story tied to it, whereas this is one that just came in 40 years ago when they accepted everything and walked through the door. So.
All right, how about a round of applause? Thank you so much. Great. Have you ever thought, speaking of Mr. Rogers, have you ever thought about converting the museum into a museum go round? She scared me. Oh, she scared me. All right. So with that being said, thank you all so much for the wonderful meeting and for your kind comments. That means the world to me. This has been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing all of you again next week. Go out there and be kind. Oh, I forgot to. We have a new member. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. I would have said. Okay, thank you, Keith. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming today. Yeah, I did not expect any of this or plan it, so me too.
Watching Halloween start tearing up and like.
Yeah. Yep, yep. So we have a person that's called the Sergeant at Arms, and you volunteer for a month for that role, and you come early to set that stuff up, and then take it down. And then we have a person that's the greeter that does attendance and things like that. And
So
yeah.
that rotates every month as well then.
Mhm.
Greeters,
Yep.
Person that's setting up, taking down.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
But like I always tell people, you get involved at the level that's meaningful to you. So, and that can be different for different people, and it's as
And I
long as
suppose- Yeah, and I suppose that can change too as you're here, if, you know. My phone's so dirty. Oh, I was just asking about, someone has to pick these up and take these down each time, and it was just explaining that, and then someone taking the attendance, and, you know, that kind of rotates. But that's a lot of work to do that.
I just got my butt chewed. I just took our buttons and I